I received an email with the question, do you think that the way you treat people matters to them, or is it none of your business? Those are accusations posed as questions, and they seek validation, not information. What happens to language when blame, which is seeking validation, is the intention? And many other things that are happening there. The questions are, do you think that the way you treat people matters to them, or is it none of your business? So both of these questions are accusations disguised in sloppy syntax. They remove agency, they assign a preference, and they demand alignment. Assign a premise is what I said. In general, questions beginning with verbs are accusations in disguise, seeking personal validation. And that's because the intention behind those accusations seeks confirmation bias, not information. The questions of that questioner removed my agency by defining me and then demanded my alignment with that definition. And that confirmation then feeds the questioner's desire to be right, not informed. So the desire to be right is unnecessary to prove because the mere existence of that person is proof enough of its rightness. So the question seeks to make that person more right than it already is, which is an impossible task. Now, that person doesn't even know its existence is right because it's not accepting itself for what it is right now. Otherwise, it wouldn't be seeking validation for it. So this is also greed. Many things happen in language. It's not exclusive to one thing. So greed manifests in expecting others to compensate where you won't, to give you what you already have in abundance and don't currently use. Asking questions, beginning with verbs, is one of the most refined forms of greed. Now, how do questions structurally become accusations? Questions that function as accusations move the verb from the front of the sentence to establish directional control and framework. For example, you do becomes do you. The verb encodes the action and the remainder of the sentence organizes itself within that action. When a question begins this way, the accusation is embedded within the structure itself. It's really disguised. The action is presuppositioned or prepositioned, and everything that follows operates within that prepositioning. The question mark then functions as a boundary, and it closes off alternative frames while simultaneously initiating a demand for confirmation within the one that's already been established. You can only stay within this framework. The questions are claiming. They're making a claim and they're asking for confirmation, validation, or denial of the framework that I do think that the way I treat people matters to them and that I think it is none of my business. My job here is simply to confirm or deny that presupposition. I have no agency. I have no other framework. Both of the statements seek me to validate them. So validation is out of my jurisdiction, other than my own validation, that is. So I have no responsibility or ability to respond to validate that which is not mine. That's also called fairness or equality. Responsibility is the sole purpose of the individual. The ability to respond lies directly with each person and only that person. Hence the meaninglessness of life or the inherent neutrality of all things and people. No thing or person has inherent meaning. You are not born with meaning. Nothing has meaning. Meaning is placed on the thing or person through your response to it. All you control is your ability to respond. That's why there's no good or bad, or evil, or wrong. So here's the reality. the validation you seek, you are. When you truly know yourself to be beyond need, beyond validation, you will drop the search by not keeping company with those things or people that feed and validate your prejudice, your ignorance, your expectations, your unexamined beliefs, and your need to be right. If your intention is to gather information, this is what I told the person in the email. If your intention was to gather the information, this is my response, is, again, if your intention was to gather information, you would have asked a question deserving of an answer. Questions start with who, what, where, when, why, or how. Anything else is manipulative and used to undermine my foundations. I will not be an active participant in my demise or yours. If you have a true question, ask. If you want validation, give it to yourself. You won't get it from me, and I conversely will not be asking it from you. Ask a question worthy of its answer. Till next time.